Hey guys, Romney and Reaper here. So another impromptu video, but taking advantage of Odeon extras again. This time I'm heading in to see Warfare. This looks really, really good. I'm hearing nothing but great things. You know, it looks right up my alley. You know, it's a tense, nail-biting war movie. So I have my fingers crossed that it'll deliver a cinematic experience to remember. But the only way to find out is to head in, get my ticket, get some snacks, and get seated for Warfare. So yeah, I've got my popcorn here and a Summer Fruits Oasis, ready for a nerve-shredding, tense war film.
Eyes open and get ready to gain for courses.
So yeah, Warfare. I'm back from seeing it. This is a co-directing venture between Alex Garland and former Navy SEAL Ray Mendoza, an Iraq War veteran. Unlike most war films, which are, obviously all sold as being based on true stories, this one is being advertised as being based on memory. This is Ray Mendoza using his memories, his first-hand experience to tell this story, apparently as a gift for one of his squad mates who literally does not remember a single thing that went down in this battle. So going in, there is already a uniquely personal touch to this that is just ripe for immersive and tense cinematic scale storytelling. But does it use its unique based on memory hook to deliver an intense cinematic experience? Let's find out. So the film follows a team of US Navy SEALs known as the Bushmasters, serving their tour of duty in Iraq. During a particular incident in 2006, the team sets up station in the city of Ramadi for a surveillance mission. But this ends up going south fast when they realize that they are right in the middle of insurgent territory, and so what starts out as a simple surveillance mission soon becomes a brutal and bloody battle for survival. So obviously with Alex Garland coming off the back of Civil War last year, a really good film that offered up a sobering look at a nation in crisis, my expectations were high because if there's anyone who can help Ray Mendoza bring his story to the screen, surely it's him. And coming out of the cinema, I gotta say, all I could think to myself was, holy fuck. Yeah, this is an absolutely fantastic movie. Easily one of my favourites of the year so far. And if this is not in my end of year top 10, yeah, we cinephiles are eating good. Now, obviously, this is a film that pivots away from the usual 3-act structure and, fully realized character arcs. But for what it is lacking in, defined characterization, it more than makes up for by, doing away with the usual American war movie cliches. There's no sort of exposition setting up the mission briefing. There's no character monologues talking about what they've got waiting for them at home. It does away with that, strips it all back to, deliver a real-time, harrowing look at the brutal reality of war. And my God, this thing, the focus in a very sort of single-minded, very determined and focused way is on the battle. It throws you right into the middle of this, throws you into the deep end without a paddle, and it just completely blindsides you. It is, it is fast paced, it is propulsive, it's edge of your seat stuff. It is unflinchingly tense. I think what really makes this sing is the sheer level of craftsmanship that has gone into this. There's obviously the film's look, the way it's shot. It goes for a sort of low contrast, desaturated look, which makes it feel like real and gritty. This is a real compliment to its, real boots to the ground storytelling. The visual effects are fantastic as well. You know, all the explosions feel real. All the injury detail is gnarly and nasty, and real wince-worthy stuff. But I think the real cherry on top, the real piece de resistance, is the sound design. Much like Civil War, of course, because this is like eardrum shredding stuff. And seriously, you gotta see this on the big screen to fully appreciate just how immersive that sound mix is. If you aren't able to see it on the big screen and you've got a pretty souped up sound system at home, you're in for a treat. Because my god, every single gunshot and explosion is like, loud. It jolts you out of your seat and really puts you on edge in an unsettling, discomforting way. It's so loud that it really makes you feel that you're right in the middle of this. It really puts you at the center of this, this tense, bloody battle for survival. And there's one particular brilliant moment of sound design that comes, after a a jump scare explosion moment where we've got multiple different bits of radio communication happening at the same time. It feels chaotic. It feels frenetic, and that just adds to how fast paced and tense all of this is. It's so well done. If this is not nominated for a sound design Oscar, I swear to God, like Civil War was snubbed last year. I really hope this does not suffer the same fate. Please, Oscars, do the right thing. I mean, we also have a huge ensemble of actors to bring this thing to life. Sort of like a current generation Black Hawk Down in a way, a huge ensemble cast of breakthrough stars. And obviously leading the whole thing is DeFero Wunatai playing Ray. And he's joined by, a big ensemble. Everyone here doing a fantastic job, really selling these elite soldiers put into a terrible situation, just, trying to, remain assertive and in control despite the horror going on around them. Wunatai plays it really well, and so does everyone else, including the likes of Will Poulter, Kit Connor, Noah Centineo, Michael Gandolfini, Charles Melton. Two particular standouts here are Cosmo Jarvis and Joseph Quinn. Seriously, their screams are fucking haunting. In fact, like, even days after you leave the cinema, you will still just hear these, these pained, harrowing screams just ringing around in your head. Seriously, these two just are fucking fantastic. In fact, everybody is on top form and really understands the assignment. And I think what really allows this thing to hit home is the note the film leaves off on, where we see footage of the actual real people involved with this battle, and it just hits home that what we are watching, is memory, a recreation of something that real people fought for their lives to get to the other side of. And yeah, it's a real it leaves you feeling real solemn. It's properly sobering stuff. You know, it will stay with you. Overall, Warfare is a brilliant film. It is, a real time, horrific, up to the minute look at the ugly, brutal reality of war that just sticks you with its single minded focus and, rip roaring, immersive, intense storytelling. Yeah, what a film. Please go see this on the big screen. Out of 10, Warfare gets a 9. So yeah, let me know down in the comments. Have you seen the film? What did you think of it? Would you like to see Ray Mendoza direct more films? Would you like to see Alex Garland come out of his self-imposed retirement? And of like the sort of modern era war films like this, which one is your favorite? Let me know all that down in the comments. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new, and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.